Hello there. Hello to my diaspora friends and families in Canada, Australia, Mexico, wherever you're watching us from. You're welcome back to this channel today. I know if you're watching this video today, it's because of one reason, because you're looking for how you could actually invest your money back in Nigeria such that you could actually get good yield of return of investment from your investment opportunity today. Now, if you're watching this video today, note this as a disclaimer. I'm only sharing this as my opinion based on previous growth experience and also based on the trend we've observed, and with this it would enable you to make that investment decision in future where to put your money. Now, one of the things I observe when it comes to the Western traditional markets is this: in terms of the market right now is sort of stagnant, and in terms of growth also not really the best, and also when it comes to the tax burden is also high as well, because when you earn this X amount, the tax that has been put on it also is quite massive, so which is a turn off for some people. But think of it this way: in the last couple of years we had a lot of smart investors. As soon as they've observed the sort of growth they are experiencing in the Western market, they tend to pump their money back into the Nigerian market, because there are opportunities there for them to actually see and for them to reap the fruit of their hard-earned money from diaspora. Okay, some people might get worried about changing their money from let's say from pounds to naira, but the truth of the matter is, even when you convert your currency, you still make money off it. The most important thing is this: in as much as inflation is not eating into your money, and in as much as inflation is also not so eating into your profits, you meet at a midpoint. So the most important form is that for you to invest, you are protecting yourself against inflation, and you're also trying to get more money off the money you have. So if this is for you right now, say stay attention while I break it down to you for the 5 reasons why smart investors are investing their money back home in Nigeria as of today, and you need to take this action as well today. Stay tuned as we dive into the video today. All right, welcome back. So the number 1 reason why I would say invest your money back at home, I would say, is FX appreciation as well as purchasing power. Now think of it this: I'm going to use a case study of London. You have a certain amount of money, X amount of money, and you're thinking, okay, I have 20,000 pounds, let me get a home in London. You and I know that the property in London might be let's say £1 million, and you're depositing just 20,000 off it. I'm going to use that as a case study. You and I know that when you do that, it's going to take about 30 years for you to pay that off. But think of it this way: if you convert that 20,000, and I'm using 2,000 naira as the benchmark for exchange, if you convert that 20,000 times 2,000 back home in Nigeria, that's about 40 million. You and I know that that is almost an half payment for a property back at home already. So with that, you can almost buy a house in matter of a year or two back at home, and with that you are already an owner. But when it comes to the traditional market, it might take about 30 years to buy the property, which is still a good one. But the truth of the matter is, most times people just want ownership to be confirmed as soon as possible, because when you handed over the keys and you know the property is totally yours without no externalities, then you are owning the property. But looking at the Western world, you tend to have to pay for 30 years, and within that 30 years, even though you are told that you're the owner, for me, my mentality is, in as much as you don't have the total say and there are still external factors influencing the total ownership, then you don't own it fully. So that is number 1 reason why you should invest your hard-earned money back at home today. Number 2 thing is capital appreciation. Capital appreciation can never be overemphasized. Now, how does this work? When you invest in a property, note that this property you invest in over the years, even sometimes without doing anything to it, appreciates. Now, let me use the case study of Ekpe or Ibejoleki. Now, usually when you buy a property, let's say a land for instance, in as much as you don't do anything on it, if you give it time, it's going to appreciate in value. Now, most times the issue is that most people tend to buy the wrong land, and that's why it does not appreciate. For me, I would say there are 4 things you need to look at or tick in the box before you make this decision. Number 1 is the land having the presence of government. What that means is that is any presence of government in terms of, let's say, local government, government hospitals, government school, government building the road, something government doing around that area. If there's presence of government, then this ticks the box for you. Number 2 thing as well is this: are there other buildings, residential buildings coming up around the area? If that is working, then tick box number 2. Then number 3 would be, let me use the case study I usually use as well. If there are other estates around the area, then it ticks the box. Then infrastructure, if you're seeing NEPA poles, NEPA wires around the area, then it's ticked in the box. So I use the case study of land as capital appreciation. Capital appreciation can also fall for houses as well, in as much as you are strategic about where you're buying. Okay, so but when it comes to either the land or the house, note that capital appreciation is possible if these 4 boxes are ticked. But if you want to add the 5th box, then I will say the title of the property also plays a part in that appreciation, because a property with COO and property with just registered survey cannot carry the same value at that point. No, number 3 reason I will say is cash flow, or I can as well say, yeah, I'll say cash flow. And the reason why I'll say cash flow is this: when you buy a property, you're not just buying the property and waiting that when the property increases in value, but if that property is enabled to also give you cash flow. So for instance, you bought a house and the house you're using it for Airbnb is giving you instant cash flow. So you are earning in 2 ways: capital appreciation and cash flow. Even if it's a land also, you can buy a land and strategical, if that land is a strategic location, you can also lease that land out. So you could see, in as much as you want a cash flow, you will still be able to get cash flow in it. Comparing that to the Western market also, again, if you get property there, you and I know that when you get that property, what you pay even in maintenance of that property is one thing. When it comes to council tax and things like that, you know what that is as well. So you need to pay attention to where the smart investors are moving today. That's my number 3 reason. All right, and my number 4 reason is this. My number 4 reason will be inflation. You and I know that when it comes to inflation, one of the easiest way to combat inflation is not by saving the money, it's not by buying stock, it's not by buying Bitcoin, it's not by buying any other thing, it's not by buying gold, is by you buying real estate. Because when it comes to real estate, everything is attached to real estate. Even looking at the top 5 industries in Nigeria as at today, real estate still plays a part. If you think of oil and gas, is real estate. If you think of telecommunication, is real estate. If you think of real estate itself, construction is real estate. If you think of banking, is real estate. Banks also buy properties. So if you think of commerce, it's still real estate. So if you're thinking of that, you need to know that when it comes to inflation, real estate will always be the cap for everything to secure your money. The last reason why I will give why you should invest back at home is the power of technology. Years ago, people would invest back at home and they only get information based on what they are told. But now information can be verified easily, and information is power in this case. So a case study of you building an house in Africa or Nigeria today, you could as well put CCTV in that place and monitor your construction yourself. You own a farm, you could have a CCTV monitoring it for you. And if you don't want to go that direction, why technology also plays a part is you could also verify a lot of things online today. You don't have to believe in assumption of people. You could be in the diaspora today and contact somebody that allows her to do verification for you, and you have it in your doorstep in the UK, in London, in Australia. So technology has really played a part. Example, Lagos state government right now, you can actually apply for a building approval all done online. It's the power of technology. So you should pay attention to smart investors who are investing their money back at home as at today. Don't be left out of this opportunity today. If you find this video helpful today, kindly like, share, comment, and let me know where you're watching from, and let me know what will be your next line of action after watching this video. We are here to help you out, to also give your opinions. Like I said, as a disclaimer, I'm only sharing this as my opinion and looking at the growth trend, and all the properties we sell will verify as much as possible. And also, if you want us to help you verify your properties, we could also help you do that. I will say have a lovely day today, my diaspora friends and family. Do take care. Bye.